Bill Gates is the most demonized billionaire, I think. So I'm back with some more nonsense, and this time it's something I saw on Instagram. I was inundated by posts about this conspiracy theory that Bill Gates is trying to spread ticks, those little insects that cause Lyme disease and a host of other really nasty symptoms and illnesses. So the theory is that he's trying to spread ticks so that people become allergic to red meat. So the story, and it's quite an imaginative story to be fair, is that these farmers have been receiving boxes of ticks, like thousands of ticks in like a box, cardboard box, like you'd have like a delivery, and inside is like loads of ticks. And this is with the ultimate intention of these ticks spreading on the land and basically infesting the whole of the country and eventually causing a syndrome called alpha-gal syndrome. So if you get bitten, you would develop this syndrome which makes you allergic to red meat. And because you'd be allergic to red meat, you wouldn't eat red meat anymore. You'd ditch that and you'd go and eat lab-grown meat, which Bill Gates is a very big investor in. And so ticks have been around for a long time. They do cause a host of nasty issues, primarily like Lyme disease. But, if you don't treat the tick within 24 hours, then it can be really, you could easily end up in hospital. And basically, the theory is that he's trying to spread it so that people will start eating meatless meat, like lab-grown meat. So I had a number of issues with this theory. The main video that I think would sum it up is this one here.
Well, it seems like there's a real pandemic right now on this cruise ship. You know about that hantavirus?
Yeah.
That seems really crazy.
And ticks. Watch that thing.
The tick thing's nuts.
Especially because of meat, because of Gates.
Well, there's
Bill
boxes
Gates,
people are finding. I don't know if this is true because I've seen many reports on it, but I'm just going to say.
Because of Gates, anything could happen in the world, and it would be because of Gates. Some people will blame Bill Gates for anything that goes wrong. Like, guess what, Randy? My B-day stopped working, and he'll be like, you know what? Why that is? Gates. He doesn't want you to wash your ass. Bill Gates is the most demonized billionaire, I think, vilified. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to defend Bill Gates, but it just gets to the point where it's ridiculous. So anyway,
what I saw, that farmers and ranchers are finding boxes of ticks on their property. Now, I don't know if that's fake. I don't know if someone's setting that.
Well, he's already acknowledging the fact that it might not be true, but they're going to run with it anyway. So
up to pretend they found these boxes of ticks, but there's videos of these people finding boxes of ticks.
Now, what they'll say is they'll probably say they're sterile ticks and that we're planting them out there so we can diminish the population.
Well, probably isn't going to cut it, but yeah, I mean, supposedly that could be. This is another great. This is great. These conspiracy theories are actually great because they go into a lot of detail, and every so often a conspiracy theory does kind of end up being true or partially true, but it's quite a minuscule percentage that end up being somewhat true. And I enjoy these conspiracy theories, but you've got to realize that, they're theories at the end of the day. They are super imaginative. I'll give them that.
That's what they'll say. But anytime they try to mess with the balance of nature, it never goes right.
Is that what they're saying? This is
that's
what
you're
think?
Getting it right here.
I don't believe you have a right to go to someone's property and drop off sterile ticks.
Nope.
But we don't know whether this is actually happening. They've acknowledged the fact that it might not be true, or at least Joe Rogan has. But now they're getting quite animated about it.
Way in hell.
That's crazy either way. But I have a good friend of mine who got bit by the Lone Star tick and has that alpha-gal problem.
Yeah, you have to be bitten by the Lone Star tick, not just any old tick. It needs to be the Lone Star tick. A small percentage of people get alpha-gal syndrome. I don't think it's the majority.
Yeah, a guy came out of my house yesterday looking at putting gutters up at our house. And Dadgum, he said, and I said, you did what? He goes, yeah, I can't eat any meat produced by a mammal.
Yes.
I think that I don't think that's true. From what I've read, you are allergic to red meat, so you could eat chicken, you could eat fish, you could eat all the white meats, and you wouldn't have an allergic reaction.
Yeah. So my buddy, he had it, And my friend Evan, so he had it for a little while, and then he did a bunch of treatments and got off of it, and then started eating steak again. And he was fine for about a year and a half, and then it came back stronger than ever. And he just can't shake it.
It's been around that long.
Oh yeah, he can only eat eggs. I mean, he's basically eating eggs and vegetables. That's all he's eating. And every time he tries to deviate, he has a horrible reaction. It makes, for people that don't.
Yeah, that is true. But first of all, why would Bill Gates be sending people boxes when he is the largest private landowner in the whole country? And America is fucking huge. Look at it on the map. Like, so that he could conceivably be arguably the biggest private landowner in the world. Why didn't he just infest his own land, and eventually they will migrate into all the other land, because he has so much of it that he could do whatever he wants on there. He doesn't have to send people little cardboard boxes of ticks. And when you receive this box, do you like automatically think, oh, look at these insects, let me just like roll around in them and then take them and like sprinkle them all over my land? Like, nobody's going to do that. They're going to see it and be like repulsed, and they're going to either try and get rid of it, or they're going to report it. They're certainly not going to go like automatically and say, oh, we need to release them in the wild.
To red meat.
Right. And who has got genetically made meat now?
Yeah.
Gates.
Bill Gates.
Yeah. Well,
he had it like, it's not even now. It was fucking ages ago that he invested in lab-grown meat, and he's done really badly. Like, Beyond Meat, like if you look at the stock price, is down like 90+%. So if he's such an evil genius, why did he invest in something where he's lost most of his money? And he's not even the only one who invested in it. So it was not like his own company. He didn't invent it. And people will say, oh, yeah, but he's like experimenting with ticks and stuff. Yeah, he is experimenting with ticks, but not ticks in America. They are ticks in like developing countries that do the opposite. They attach to like cattle, and they cause issues to cattle, which would then result in less food and like famine and stuff like that if it got out of control. So he's actually trying to protect, the Gates Foundation is trying to protect like cattle from dying. So, you know, people in like Africa, the farmers aren't going to end up like in a famine situation. And he's doing the same with mosquitoes to get rid of malaria. And so if he was going to do something like deploy some kind of like evil scheme, surely he'd use something that's not as slow. A tick is not only it's slow, it can't see, it hardly moves. Like, why would you use that? It can't fly. It needs to wait for something to like brush past it to attach onto it. So seeing as Bill Gates is deep into like mosquito research and stuff like that for malaria, just use mosquitoes.
they're doing things with mosquitoes, and they're
right, mosquitoes. Yeah, but they're doing things with mosquitoes. Why do they need to mess around with ticks?
messing around with nature in a way that no one's given you permission to. The general public does not want you doing this.
But what are you talking about when he's doing it in like developing countries? As far as I know, he's not doing any of this stuff in America. Like, the American population's got nothing to do with it. He's doing this in developing countries with the Gates Foundation. You can have like your own theories about that and as to what's going on with that. But I'm not trying to defend him, but it just seems ridiculous. He would be using this avenue as like his way of getting people to eat red meat. Like, there's so many better ways of infecting people than using ticks. Honestly. Like, for somebody who has supposedly microchipped us all through a vaccine and invented the original disease that we needed to be vaccinated against, now he's using ticks. He doesn't have to do that. He could just create another pandemic, surely. He's that much of an evil genius. But, all these theories have come out, so he's been rumbled every time. If there is an evil genius, he's not going to be public facing. I'll tell you that. He's going to be like, nobody will ever know who it is. It's going to be more than one person. It's not going to be Bill Gates. Like, the guy is constantly under the microscope and he's thrown under the bus for everything. So yeah, it's just another piece of nonsense I thought would be fun to cover. I mean, I enjoy a good conspiracy theory because it's just fun. But yeah, don't be like that. Don't like believe everything that you hear and see, because it's honestly, just use your own brain.